Hi, I am Narayan Pankaj Sambit Patra. Today I shall be discussing about the importance of self-learning. Today I shall also be talking about why should we stress upon self-learning. I'll bring in some instances for you to understand what I really mean. All of you know, electricity was invented here in the year 1752. I repeat, it was in the year 1752 by Benjamin Franklin. Albert Einstein demonstrated light bulb in the year 1879. I repeat again, it is 1879. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam of India launched the Agni missile in the year 1989. So I am referring to 1752, I am referring to 1879, and I am referring to 1989. Some of the greatest discoveries and inventions of humanity has been done in 16th century, 17th century, 18th century, 19th century by so many people, and their contribution has been immensely utilized by people of 20th century and 21st century. One of the greatest invention has been, or the discovery, whatever you said, of the wheel. The wheel has been invented and so many vehicles are running using a wheel, right from a bicycle and including the aeroplane. That is not something that we have done in 20th century or 21st century. We are using it. Using a discovery or invention is definitely one of the most practical purposes of discovering them or inventing them. I am not abusing myself or ourselves for using them, but I am trying to draw your attention to the point that how much of discovery and inventions are we doing in this generation, during these days, during this time, over the last couple of years, over the last few decades. They are done in research labs, in pretty big research labs, where thousands of crores are invested, a setup is created, paid scientists work day in, day out to make some discoveries and inventions. But the quality of discovery and inventions, if you compare them with what it used to be in the earlier days, is insignificant. Why is it so? We need to understand why is it so. We should try to at least answer as to why is it so that we can probably address them and make some suitable corrections for things to improve. I'll tell you. There is an ocean of education which is available out there, but every day we drag our students to a schooling system where we pull them to an artificial pool that we have built. The inquisitiveness of self-learning, the practice of self-learning, the idea of self-learning is not much available these days. Do you think Albert Einstein, Benjamin Franklin, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam ever went to any private tuitions to learn things? No, never. Do you think Mahatma Gandhi and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ever went to private tuitions? Not at all. The culture of private tuition, the culture of schooling that exists today, in the way and form that it is executed, is responsible to imbibe a culture of learning in a way that is not suitable for proper development of individuals. Providing tuitions does help, but then when that becomes the only way to learn, where we spoon feed the student, I'm afraid we are binding them with a bondage which they cannot come out of. Conducting examination and assessment in a way that it is done now, with a restrictive curriculum, and driving them to learn only those things day in, day out, not allowing them a freedom to self-explore and self-learn beyond what is in the syllabus, is binding them with wires, and they cannot escape out of it. Who will police the police and who will school the school? That's the question. And the answer is self-realization has to drawn on us. And we have to start incorporating a culture of self-learning in our students so that they exercise the freedom to learn. They are competent enough to learn by themselves. Instead of building a handicap in them to be dependent on a teacher every time, every day, to learn a very specific curriculum, we should imbibe a culture of self-learning. We should inculcate self-responsibility. If self-responsibility and self-learning can be taught, then trust me, we will build a much better world with millions of new discoveries and inventions that can come our way if we imbibe that in our students. We have lost the ground over the years by practicing certain not so good practice, by setting up an education system which is not meeting the purpose, by setting up a curriculum which is very restrictive and not allowing the opportunity to students to explore much beyond what is prescribed. We have to change that. We need to change that if we want to see major discoveries and inventions. The time has come that we are so busy doing nothing in terms of new discoveries and inventions that we remain busy over litigations as to who invented Rasgulla and who invented turmeric powder. And there is a litigation that goes on to file patent for Rasgulla and turmeric powder. But do you think those things belong to this age, this century? No one need to be really intelligent enough to understand this, that yes, they really don't belong to this age in terms of discoveries and inventions. They have been done by people much before we came into being. So the idea that I'm proposing is, in our education platform skillstorm.com, we will allow our students to learn whatever they need to learn within the syllabus, or more importantly, much beyond the syllabus. That is all for today. More in my next lesson, how we do it.